Hello, Lakers Nation. Trevor Lane here for LakersNation.com, your home for everything Lakers. Shoot me a follow on Twitter at Trevor_Lane. Today, we're talking about D'Angelo Russell. Complete shocker. I didn't think there was any way that we'd be talking about D'Angelo Russell possibly coming back to the Lakers. I thought the bridge was burned, and yet here we are. Has a meeting already been set between Russell and the Lakers? We're going to dive right into it. But first, a quick shout out to our sponsors, Uptime Energy Drinks. How energy should feel. You can find them at 7-Eleven, GNC, and Amazon.com. Uptime Energy is basically how I'm making it through the NBA offseason at this point. And, of course, betonline.ag, your home for online gambling. All you have to do is go to clnsmedia.com/LeBron. That's how they know that you came from us. And then enter the promo code CLNS50 to get a 50% bonus on your first deposit. Okay, so D'Angelo Russell headed towards restricted free agency. We're going to get into the contract details in just a moment. But Fred Rogan of NBC LA just reported that the Lakers have set a meeting with D'Angelo Russell, according to sources, and that they're also working towards setting meetings with defensive specialists and light out shooters. So D'Angelo Russell setting a meeting with the Lakers, the same D'Lo that the Lakers traded just a couple of years ago in order to rid themselves of the salary of Timofey Mozgov. He grew up quite a bit in Brooklyn. He turned into an all-star this last season, and now the Lakers have a roster with Kyle Kuzma, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, all front court players. They need guards. They could really use a point guard, and D'Angelo Russell happens to be out there. The Lakers can offer a big salary, plenty of minutes, all of that, so could be an interesting fit. Now, would it be a little bit awkward for the Lakers to bring Russell back? Well, you know what? The guy who got rid of him, Magic Johnson, is gone now. So maybe that clears the way for him to come back just a little bit. In fact, Bill Oram of The Athletic got a chance to talk to Magic Johnson last night about it at the NBA Awards, and Magic said he's better now. He's talking about Russell. He's a different player. He's more mature. So Magic Johnson is on board, even with D'Angelo Russell coming back. Could this really be happening? As Zach Lowe of ESPN reported, there is at least a kernel of truth to the Lakers' interest in a reunion, but LA has a lot to sort out. Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts here. What would it take for D'Angelo Russell to come back? Because it's not as simple as just, hey, D'Angelo wants to be a Laker, the Lakers want D'Angelo, sign him, boom, done. That's not how this is going to go down. It's going to be way more complicated. So here's how it would have to work. So free agency starts June 30th, starts at 3 p.m. Pacific time. The NBA moved it up this year. It used to be at 9 p.m. Pacific time on June 30th. Now it's at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So it's been moved up a little bit. At that point, D'Angelo Russell will be a restricted free agent. And that's really key because that means that the Brooklyn Nets have the opportunity to match any offer for D'Angelo Russell. So let's say that right at 3:01, the Lakers come to an agreement with D'Angelo Russell. They're going to pay him X amount of dollars over X number of years, and they're going to sign him to a contract. Well, the NBA has a moratorium, and what that means is that they can't officially sign anything until July 6th, once all the salary cap numbers are officially in and they know exactly where that's all going to fall. So let's say that Russell, you come to a verbal agreement with him, and then he signs on July 6th. Then the Nets would have 48 hours to decide whether or not they want to match. So now we're talking about July 8th. The Lakers cap would be tied up until July 8th. And then at the last minute, the Nets could still match. Meanwhile, all the other free agents would be gone off the market, and the Lakers will be left with nothing in that scenario should the Nets decide at the last minute to match, because they would have spent the entire week with their money tied up in D'Angelo Russell. So I don't expect the Lakers to go that route. It would be foolish of them. It's not the way to do it. However, there is reason to believe that D'Angelo Russell may not be a restricted free agent for very long. Here's what's going on. The Nets, we know they made a big trade with the Atlanta Hawks the other week in order to clear cap space, that Allen Crabbe trade that they were able to shed his contract. They brought in Taurean Prince. There were a few picks involved there as well. But so they shed some money, and the thought is that the Nets are going to land not only Kyrie Irving, but potentially Kyrie's good buddy, Kevin Durant. If they land Kyrie Irving, even if it's just Irving, there might be reason to let D'Angelo Russell go, because do D'Angelo Russell and Kyrie Irving really coexist? Does that work? Probably not. But if it's Kyrie and KD, in order to bring both of them in, and maybe Kevin Durant's Achilles injury complicates that, maybe not. Maybe you still give him a max and assume he's going to recover at some point and be a tremendous player once again. We hope he does. Best of luck to Kevin Durant in his recovery. But If they sign both of those guys, they have to release D'Angelo Russell in order to free up enough cap space to do it. So at that point, let's say that the Nets come to an agreement. Let's say it's July 1st. The Nets come to an agreement with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and they therefore release or rescind their qualifying offer to D'Angelo Russell, making him an unrestricted free agent. At that point, the Lakers could go ahead, come to a verbal agreement with Russell as an unrestricted free agent without having to worry about the Brooklyn Nets matching, and off they go. We have the reunion of all time. I mean, probably the most unlikely reunion that we could think of, D'Angelo Russell coming back to the Lakers, but it seems like it's not all that far-fetched. The Lakers do have that need at the point guard spot, and of course, the Lakers, are in a position where they need talent. They need talent to help LeBron James win right now. And I'll tell you the other thing that I really like about the idea of bringing D'Angelo Russell back. And by the way, I fully expect the Lakers to go after Kyrie Irving themselves. They'll go after Kemba Walker. They'll go after Jimmy Butler. Maybe they put in a call to Kevin Durant. They're going to be kicking the tires on everybody. They will be interested in all of the top guys. So I'm not totally convinced that D'Angelo Russell is like option one for them or anything like that. He'd be more of a fallback. But I'll tell you what would be nice if they do land D'Angelo Russell is that he's only 23 years old. That means that his prime lines up perfectly with the prime of Kyle Kuzma. What does that mean for the Lakers? Yes, they need pieces that can help you win right now, and I think D'Angelo Russell can do that in order to help LeBron James, but within the next few years, LeBron James is going to be sailing off into the sunset. Let's face it, Father Time is undefeated. LeBron's going to be turning 35 this season. How many more prime years does LeBron really have left? So with that being the case, you want to have some sustainability, and so that means that as LeBron phases out, and Anthony Davis is still in as the team's big star, you'll still have D'Angelo Russell and Kyle Kuzma there as support, eventually growing into leading roles. So when we talk about sustainability, you've got a Lakers squad that could potentially be good for the next decade if you've got a guy as young as D'Angelo Russell in as one of your key pieces. Also say this. In terms of an emotional attachment to D'Angelo Russell, that's already there right now, because the Lakers drafted him, right? So the Lakers fans already have this kind of vested interest in D'Angelo Russell. And after seeing Julius Randle leave, Larry Nance Jr., Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Ivica Zubac, all of these other guys go. Pretty much all the guys that's not Kyle Kuzma and Mo Wagner and Isaac Bonga at this point, all the young players that fans have become invested in over the years leave. D'Angelo Russell coming back gives them that guy that you kind of feel like, okay, this is our guy. Right? LeBron James, he's always going to be associated with the Cavs. He's going to be associated with the Miami Heat. Okay, that's where he spent the bulk of his career. Anthony Davis, up to this point, has been a Pelican. Maybe he eventually becomes known primarily as a Laker, but not just yet. D'Angelo Russell gives you that other guy that fans are already invested in that would kind of create that emotional tie for Lakers fans. Not saying that should be a factor at all in the decision. You go after the best player, period, because that emotional tie will come with winning. But I'm saying it would be a nice little cherry on top in order to have that guy that you kind of feel like he's one of ours. He's one of the guys that the Lakers drafted, and we've seen him grow over the years. So there would be that kind of nice storyline to it as well. All right, guys, for more on this story and everything else going on in the world of the Los Angeles Lakers, make sure you head over to LakersNation.com and keep it tuned right here to the Lakers Nation YouTube channel. If you're listening to the podcast version of this on the Lakers Nation newsfeed, make sure you go rate, review, and subscribe to this show. Till next time, see ya.